You either is or you ain't. You do or you don't. You can or you can't. Or you will or you won't. Either way, baby, a good man, well, he's hard to find. Hey, everybody, McGillbilly here.
And I'm Jamie.
Lexi.
Welcome to one more for the Good Guys podcast, where good gals are good guys, too.
Exactly.
We're the good guys, and we also, this show is brought to you by our other business, Good Guys Cigars. And hopefully, if this is your first time you found us, well, welcome to the channel. Be sure, if you enjoy our content, be sure to hit the like and the thumbs up and the subscribe and all that other stuff. But more,
even if you don't enjoy our content,
do
you
it
can
anyway.
still do that.
It's free. It don't cost you
you don't
nothing.
have to look at it. Just swap.
That's right. But if you are listening or watching, especially on YouTube, hit the notifications bell, because with the censorship that YouTube has lost their mind with on premium cigar content, it will behoove you to keep that into your notifications where we can stay in your algorithm and you can learn all more about great cigars, the business, and all kinds of other tips, tricks, and whatnot. So if you're here for coming back for more cruel and unusual punishment, well, thank you for that. And I can assure you that the beatings will continue until morale improves. Today, we are talking about legislation at the world, state, and local levels. But before we get into all of that, what are we smoking today?
We are smoking, brought to you by United Cigars in conjunction with Good Guys Cigars.
Exactly.
The Bandolero Premium. Lexi said put my hand in front of it so you can see it. Can you see it? The Bandolero Premium. We are at the PCA show.
Baby.
And with our United rep. And we're asking what selected tobacco stuff we could get to add to the Atabay, which is obviously also incredible. And he said, get the Bandolero Premium. So we did. And this is our first smoke. All of us, first one.
Yeah.
We sold one, right?
Yeah, Tone got our first one.
I got the cut and light the first one. And the ash on that thing was like, he ashed that thing twice.
It'll be on our Instagram soon.
Yeah, twice total, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think that's right.
That's right. And he just loved it. So, but this is our first attempt at the Bandolero Premium. We are in the Bravo size,
which is a 5.25 by 52. So Robusto Extra, I guess. Call it what you want. I'm going to call it delicious. That's what I would have named it. But what do I know?
Nothing.
Not much. Not nothing.
Not much.
We go over this every time. But it is brought to you by Nelson Alfonso, Bandolero Premium Cigars. I'm reading this from the Two Guys Cigars website. Bandolero Premium Cigars by Select Tobacco are a testament to the artistry of aging and refinement, offering a rare and exclusive smoking experience. Handcrafted in Costa Rica and aged for 3 years in humidors lined with 5 distinct types of cedar in Madrid, Spain, this medium, full-bodied cigar delivers an unparalleled depth of flavor wrapped in a golden Ecuadorian Habano 2000 leaf with Nicaraguan binder and a rich blend of Nicaraguan Ligero and Peruvian fillers. One of your favorite cigars have Peruvian fillers with the Davidoff Platinum Scepter. And I can see a little similarity, with, some of the tasting notes that I'm getting from that. But, that could be also just because I read that. But, available in 3 Vitolas.
At least he's honest.
That's right. 3 Vitolas. The Magnificos, which is a 6x55. The Bravos, what we're smoking, and a 5 1/4 by 52, and the Ironicos, a 4 1/2 by 50. With its limited production and meticulous aging process, Bandolero Premium is a true collector's cigar available at select retailers. And your select retailer here, an exclusive select retailer in East Tennessee, would be Good Guys Cigars. So, with that being said, we were talking about it beforehand. Just the cold draw and the smell alone, it was just like kind of your grandma's basement, kind of your grandma's house. But it's also like semi-sweet chocolate, Nestle chocolate morsels. Just open a bag of that and then some hay. But we're into the little bit into the first third here, and I'm getting a really interesting like coconut kind of
I'll go along with that
flavor on it, just off the palate, just off the physical palate, and not on the retro, but
almost like coconut with cinnamon. There's a little bit of cinnamon on the front end of that.
I would say cinnamon. I don't get the coconut.
The coconut is back in the top roof of your mouth.
Well,
if you let it float back there a little.
Maybe I lied. Maybe it is when I retro, I get a little.
I got something when I retroed, but I wouldn't know how to describe that.
I would say it's got a little bit of that in it, that tropical.
Yeah, it's very, very great. Construction on it is flawless.
Yeah.
No visible veins. I mean, the roll on it, you can't hardly tell where it stops and starts. The combustion line, or the mascara line that I like to call it, is minimal. So, that, as some of you all know, with being listeners and or watchers, we've discussed that on here before. That's a sure dead giveaway. Anytime you have a cigar like that's a sure dead giveaway that it's got lots of aged tobacco in it. Real quick, I found this interesting. The Bandolero cigars get their name from the Spanish word for outlaw or bandit, and this honors the intrepid bootleggers of the 18th and 19th centuries who defied the Spanish crown's monopoly on tobacco production to bring fine hand-rolled cigars to the public.
Sounds to me like we need some new Bandoleros.
God dang right. And this is a great tie-in for what we're getting ready to talk about, and I didn't put that together at all. But
we're going to act like we did. So
all planned.
To echo the hidden operations of the historical outlaws, the specific tobacco blends for many Bandolero lines are kept top secret, as is lots of stuff from Select Tobaccos and Nelson Alfonso. But we thank United Cigar Group for carrying this and turning us on to it. It has certainly lived up to all the hype, and we'll talk more about it as we go. But for now, the stuff that we were talking about, legislation. What the hell do I need to know about legislation? Well, there's a lot you need to know about legislation, and there's a lot you need to know about what's going on. If you go back way early, back into our podcast archives, you'll find, I'm not sure if it was brought, I know we brought it up in one of them. I can't remember if it was the theme of the episode or not, but you'll know, one of these stories that I'm getting ready to tell you about, I brought up a couple years ago now. And the first one that I can tell you about, in the, United States world, legislation is back in, May 15th of 2024, Minneapolis cigar shop faces 15-minute time limit for smoking cigars.
Even in cigar lounges.
Where, you're not going in there to get fitted for fucking shoes. You're going in there to smoke a cigar.
Although that'd be a good place to have a men's shoe store. In a cigar
Yeah.
Like a
God, no, let's not complicate it. And get them kicked. Have Al Bundy in there working for them. But Anthony's Pipe and Cigar Lounge, the sole cigar lounge within that's important too. And we'll circle back and get all of that. The sole cigar lounge within the Minneapolis city limits now faces a restriction on cigar smoking that allows a mere 15-minute window for customers to sample a cigar. Obviously, Anthony says you can't smoke a cigar in 15 minutes, not even on a short one. But a new law that was just signed into effect will limit cigar smokers in Minneapolis to a mere quarter of an hour when they smoke a cigar inside a cigar shop.
Because the Minneapolis government is so...
Oh, like this is really what they got to worry about. And this is not going to get political.
And it's the only cigar shop,
but
right?
honest to goodness, my God, of everything that's happened in the last 5 years, let's say, in Minneapolis, the thing you need to worry about is a Clean Air Act in a goddamn cigar lounge where people have to be of age, number one, have to choose to go there, and 3 are going there because I may turn into Lewis Black before this is over. I said I was going to stay calm, but I may lose my shit. But people are going in there too for that very reason.
Yeah.
There's nothing else you're going in there for. You go in there to buy cigars or cigar accessories or to enjoy a cigar what time you're there.
And you said there's only one cigar lounge.
Well, that's the thing.
Right? One store.
In Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And this is a
major city.
Metropolitan city.
Much bigger than Knoxville.
Much.
And I was going to bring that up too. So you already have just one cigar lounge in the city, which means that you've basically tried to come up with things to eliminate them all.
Shame.
And
Shame.
How dare you?
Sons of bitches.
And it's not going to get political in that we're going to discuss parties and stuff, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to say this. Anytime legislation, another definition in Jamie's playbook of legislation is additional slavery, because they're just taking your freedoms away.
That's it.
So
on May 1st, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey signed an ordinance into law that includes various tobacco control measures, such as barring retailers from offering discounts or promotions on tobacco products, as well as price hikes on all tobacco-related goods, excluding, here's the big one, pay attention, excluding vapes. For the most part, premium cigars were spared from the new price hikes, which, for example, mandate a single cigar sell for no less than $3.75. Well, it's not important. The concept here is there's things going on you don't know, in the words of Leonard Skinner. Okay, and part of this amendment, which was later added to the bill and passed unanimously,
all of them,
where customers can spend only a maximum of 15 minutes.
Does your 15 minutes reset if you walk outside and come back in?
It's like wrestling. If you roll out of the ring, the count, you roll back in, and you beat the hell out of somebody outside the ring and roll back in, the count stops.
Oh, okay.
So you can't disqualify it. I don't know. Maybe. I doubt it. It's
real convenient. Well, I'll get to my soapbox in a second. You finish your story.
Basically compels the cigar smoker to act like a cigarette smoker, says Glenn Loop, who at the time was the PCA director of state advocacy.
Then he retired.
I say previous because I don't know if he's still there.
Okay.
So maybe I just should have said director of state advocacy, John Sperry. The attorney representing Anthony's agrees. So what this goes to is they instituted, from what I understand, and I hope I'm not, I hope I don't have this wrong, but what it came from was a Clean Air Act that had been brought forward to the city of Minneapolis, and then this was taxied in on the ass end of it.
Well, I mean, smoking inside at that point would be better than smoking outside because the air is filtered, correct?
Well, would it or would it not? I mean, you're in a,
You're dealing with this level of stupid, who knows?
Yeah. But like at that point, right? Like the air inside, I mean, it's not, I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's all silly. So.
Well, we'll come back to that question because we're going to get into that
city
as well.
City of 425,000. So that's.
Yeah. A city of 425,000.
One cigar lounge.
One cigar lounge. And also, I had it, where's it at here? Basically, the way it stood at that point in time, it was either close the doors or litigate. So now let's fast forward into May of 2025. Anthony's Minneapolis Cigar Lounge sues the city over 15-minute smoking limitation. And I love this is all from Cigar Aficionado too, by the way. So if you want to do your own homework and read on this stuff, this is not stuff we're making up. This is actual shit that's happening. It doesn't take an aficionado to know you can't smoke a cigar in 15 minutes, not even a short one. We've covered that. So they passed the law in 2024, and Anthony, the operator, and I'm sure from help with the PCA as well as lawyers, Anthony's attorney disagreed then and disagrees now. It's without any demonstrative health benefit that avoids secondhand smoke exposure to non-smokers, which is a fundamental purpose of the Minnesota Clean Indoor Act. We see that the 15-minute sampling window is a death by 1,000 cuts. They filed the lawsuit against the city on March 27th. And the question of enforceability regarding the 15-minute time limit also still remains unanswered. Sperry, the lawyer, argues the city's ordinances irreconcilably conflicts with the state's definition of sampling. In his views, the city has exceeded the authority granted by the state. We agree that they have the right to enact more restrictive measures, but the right is not plenary, says Sperry. In other words, there's nothing in the statute that supports the vilification of smokers.
This kind of thing reminds me of, there's times in your life that you've done stupid stuff, even like the time I walked into a glass window thinking it was an opening one time and like bounced off of it. And I'm glad nobody was there to like record that so you could see it over and over. Minnesota, this is one of your walking into the glass moments right here, because this stupidity is out there for the world to see really how stupid you are.
Yeah. Sperry says the city assured him they would not enforce the ordinance unless a complaint is made. While Anthony's appreciates the gesture, it still feels the legislation was targeted and that it leaves the cigar shop standing on uneasy ground. The problem for Anthony's is you can't operate a retail business under the uncertainty that someone is going to make a complaint.
Yeah. I
mean, really? Duh. This is the lawyer trying to explain that to the city officials. Anthony's is not seeking any kind of monetary damages through the lawsuit. They're only asking for abrogation of the 15-minute sampling definition and limitation, says Sperry. The lawsuit in this case is seeking a declaratory judgment, meaning Anthony's is asking for the courts to make a ruling on the ordinance enacted by the Minneapolis City Council. Remember this. Sperry is hoping the court will. There are several possible outcomes that could emerge from this process, but the two most likely options are the courts disagree and the city's sampling definition remains, or they agree with Anthony's and repeal the 15-minute time limit.
Well, we applaud you, Anthony, because you're in shark-infested waters there. And I'm telling you, it's against the law, but we're not going to enforce it. That was their argument. Let's play at that game.
Yeah.
Right? Now we're going to put these little bands on your sleeve right here, but we're not going to come around your family up and kill all of you.
Yeah.
It's not funny. It's crazy. It's nuts. And and of course, there's one story after another, as you're going to find out with the government overreach.
Yes. We're very confident on the basis of our challenge, says Sperry. After the hearing, the courts will eventually issue a scheduling order which essentially lays out a timeline for the various steps and processes ahead. Despite Sperry's confidence, a long legal battle likely lies ahead for Anthony's. So, with that being said, a GoFundMe has been set up to support Anthony's legal fight, which you would find here. So go to Cigar Aficionado, the website, and just write in legislation, and it'll take you to all of these stories that we're sharing with you and all of the links to,
but before you do it, sit down and relax. Take some deep breaths, because you're going to get madder and madder as you go.
Yeah, this is true. So that was May 9th of 2025 that was being reported that the lounge actually took their rights back and decided that they would sue the city. Okay, next. Now, I brought that up, like I said, back in probably 2024. And I was told by more than one person, that's never gonna happen. I
wasn't one of those people that said that, though.
Yeah.
Here's some more lunacy.
But, so another article that was written on, February 23rd of 2026, a little more recent. So real quick, going back to Anthony's, we'll try to stay abreast of that and see what the actual decision, the outcome was. I'm not sure.
Or if there is one yet.
If there is one yet, yeah. Tracking current legislation that can impact the cigar industry. West Virginia, a state that's normally considered cigar friendly. The state's most recent proposal surely would change that perception. HB 5631 introduced this month would significantly increase the state's taxes on cigars. So if the tariffs is not enough, now the state's going to get involved and double dip some more into your pocketbook. And God forbid, or who knows where all those taxes go. Of course, that's kind of being a rhetorical or smart-assed, I guess, but increase the state's taxes on cigars, tobacco, and nicotine products, excluding cigarettes. But for cigars, the proposal aims to increase the current 12% tax on the wholesale price up to 51%.
On the wholesale price?
Yeah.
Which means on the retail price is 100%.
Yeah. Which means, boy, you're really going to get it.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
Yes.
To the consumer. Let's see. For cigars, probably, Okay. For cigars, the proposal aims, 51%, 12 to 51%. This would also be among one of the highest rates in the country. To understand what that means for a purchase of a single cigar, let's do a little math. I know that's hard for some folks. And listen, if you're driving and listening, don't try to take your shoes off to count. We'll do all the work for you, okay?
Trust us.
Math on the tax currently applied to a $10 smoke in the state of West Virginia. If we reasonably assume that the wholesale price is half of the listed retail price, $5 being the example, that would mean 60 cents in state excise taxes at the current rate, giving a cost to the consumer of $10.60 before sales tax. Should the tax rate jump as proposed, the same cigar would have $2.55 in state excise taxes, resulting in a cost of $12.55 before they ram it into you again and get the sales tax on it. So the bill is still in the early stages, and it likely needs to pass through the committee phase of the House before a vote on the floor, and then potentially into Senate chambers should it pass. Well, there you go. Kentucky. Here we go. The state of Kentucky has been busy in recent years when it comes to legislation. Louisville Metro Council passed an ordinance in May in 2025 that allowed for the creation of new cigar bars after nearly 2 decades of it being illegal to smoke. Holy cow, a little good news seems like for the hey, you can actually get lucky in Kentucky. Around the same time last year, a bill was proposed in the Kentucky state legislature that would have allowed for the licensing of a new cigar bars in the state. Bill passed through the House before ultimately dying in the state Senate. Now a virtually identical bill, HB 194, is back on the legislature floor. In this case, a cigar bar would need to meet the following parameters: holds a retail drink license. Wonder who's getting the tax off that fucking money. Generates at least 25% of its revenue from the sale of cigars, pipe, tobacco, related accessories, Does not allow entry to anyone under the age of 21, does not permit the smoking or use of any other tobacco product besides cigars and pipes. There's also more stipulations, such as providing smoke-free spaces for delivery services. Are you fucking kidding me?
Read that again, man.
There's also standard, there are also standard stipulations such as providing smoke-free spaces for delivery services, providing a notice that smoking is permitted inside, and more.
Not that you could tell because it said cigar lounge on it.
Yeah, or bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Introduced in January, passed 69 to 24 in the House, and currently sits in the committee stage in the Senate. So they still haven't passed it, but it got passed, made it to the House, or made it through the House.
And all of this would change if everybody on this list that keeps going wasn't ignorant to the actual facts about cigar use and health benefits.
Correct.
And your federal government came up with that one, not Good Guy Cigars.
Yeah, that's true. And we will do a complete episode on that as well. South Dakota, you're not, there you go. There's one for you. Has introduced a similar proposal to Kentucky's in its state legislature, one that would also allow for the creation of new cigar bars. HB 112 or 1215 would allow for the counties and municipalities to license for new cigar bars, so as long the businesses meet certain requirements: have a humidor on the premises, operate with a fully enclosed space, have proper ventilation installed, and generate at least 10% of annual gross income from the sale of cigars.
Oh, so you could be 90% bar and 10% cigars.
Yeah.
See how they keep going back to King Liquor to give that money there?
They got to get it.
Got to.
There are some restrictions on how many licenses municipalities can issue, which are directly tied to the population size. Well, is that for the herd of buffalo or the people that live out there in 7,000 degrees below fucking zero, you assholes? Iowa, well, you're next. Would allow for cigar lounges to apply for liquor license and therefore be transformed into cigar bars. Basically the same thing. They're going to be doing that, trying to get it to the Senate floor.
Look at Oregon.
Yeah.
That's a good segue into our little local problem.
Yeah.
Or state problem.
Yes. Cigar smokers in Oregon may soon be limited to just brick and mortar stores to buy their smokes. And this was, what did we say? When was this? In February of 2026. And when did our little thing come across our desks?
Yeah.
We'll get there. Cigar smokers in Oregon may soon be limited to brick and mortar sales only to buy their smokes. A new proposal, SB 1571, aims to prohibit Oregon residents from purchasing cigars or virtually any nicotine product via the internet or mail order. SB 1571 was introduced earlier this month.
Bills, what that stands for.
And while in the Senate committee stage, there was an amendment proposed that would exempt cigars from this measure. As of now, boy, don't this sound familiar. It appears that the amendment has not been adopted, but next is likely a Senate reading and vote, and if it passes, it would then go on to the House.
Well, it's a very similar bill to what we've got presented with.
Take over.
So we got a call or got notified about a Senate bill here in Tennessee, Senate Bill 2086.
Yeah.
Introduced by Senator Shane Reeves, who was in
February 2026 too, wasn't it?
Well, I can tell you by the date of this. No, January.
Oh,
January
so maybe they got it from us.
Yeah, January 27th. So, long story short, we got word of a proposed bill that was going to eliminate internet sales of tobacco products, including premium cigars, and a bunch of other odds and ends. And then way buried in page 7, it was going to eliminate mobile cigar sales, which directly affects Good Guy cigars. So, and of course, it based on no data or anything else. So we took to the streets, if you will. So I started sending emails, and I sent to our local senators here to our region, and one of those is Senator Briggs. And I said this: I am writing about Senator Shane Reeves' Senate Bill 2086. As a premium cigar retailer, we have several points of concern as follows. 1, the proposed bill eliminates our business model completely. We are the first and only mobile cigar retailer in East Tennessee, and I put in parentheses, think food truck, because most people it blows their mind that you could sell cigars in a mobile thing. In East Tennessee, we feel that we fall into the movable business restriction addressed on page 7. That was way down there, a little line item that said you can't have a movable business. And I said, we see no reason for this part to remain if the bill passes, because it discriminates against our ability to maintain our business. This is no different than a restaurant bill, quote unquote, banning food trucks. Same thing. As far as the effect of it. Number 2, the bill makes online sales effectively illegal for premium cigars. Tennessee would become only the 3rd state in the union, behind Utah and Hawaii, to recognize such a ban. 3, premium cigars have been determined by the federal government to be outside the restriction scopes of other tobacco and vape products. And I'll list the bill so he could click on it. Number 4, premium cigars are not the type of product the FDA or any government agency, state or federal, was designed to regulate. They are handcrafted whole leaf tobacco products made by skilled artisans and enjoyed occasionally by informed adults, not mass-produced tobacco products associated with significant public health risks or underage use.
No kids are going out to buy a Bandolero Premium to roll a blunt with.
That's right.
If they are, though,
they
good
got
choice.
a lot of money.
They are. We can get Bernie Mac's ghost after them. You know what he says about kids.
Yeah.
Number 5, additional legislation is counterproductive to the freedom and minimal government intervention that the Republican Party represents. I wanted to smack him with that. Or them. This was sent to every Republican legislator, state legislator in the state.
Which there were 6 of them on that, right?
Yeah, that were on the bills. So
signed up to support it.
I said, we urge you to vote against Senate Bill 2086 completely, or at the very least in its current proposed form. Please help save our business and prevent another impedance to the economic recovery. And got several replies, one of which was from Senator Briggs here in this area, and who is a medical doctor.
War hero.
Yeah, and done all kinds of lots of stuff. I mean,
considered one of the absolute best surgeons in the world for cardiovascular surgery.
So he wrote back in a lengthy response, and that started snowballing, and then I got other responses and whatever else, and we got other folks involved, and finally, every Senate bill in this state has to have an accompanying House bill. Okay, so it can pass both branches, or both not branches, but both legislative wings or whatever.
Both sons of bitches.
Yeah, both sets of sons of bitches. And so the person that started the House bill finally emailed us back and said, hey, we're paraphrased. We didn't realize the ramifications of what we were doing, and we're going to have to relook this, and for now it's dead. So for now, the little battle has been won. And I feel like we kind of spearheaded that, at least from this,
absolutely,
from this area, because,
100%.
And you know, the PCA representative, for Tennessee is actually from Knoxville. Talked to him on the phone, and one of our concerns is that if you're a misinformed retailer, you think, oh man, they're going to ban online sales. Man, that's just more business for me, you know? So I shared this with him, and he vehemently pulled out big words today. Vehemently.
We got big shit to talk about.
Yeah. Said, there's no chance that'll happen. Ha ha ha, funny, whatever. The first two retailers I called out in Middle Tennessee, where this Reeves joker is, said, man, we feel like it's a good thing. We're not going to have to compete with online sale. And I said, okay, well, let me tell you why you're wrong. And I proceeded to tell them that, you know, give the government an inch, they'll take a mile. And
we use the example of, you know, people of our age, we all used to, in our families, used to shop at independent grocers, in the independent shoe stores, independent gas stations, or filling stations, if you will.
Full service.
You know, and all of those, guess what happened? Went by the way of the dodo bird, because, you know, you got big, massive conglomerates like Walmart and different huge conglomerate corporate controlled entities come in, and now they've got gas at the pump cheaper than, you know, the fucking guy can get it out of the goddamn ground. I'm just being an ass. I'm really being a smart aleck here, but that's what happens. So guess what, Mr. Cigar Shop in Middle Tennessee? They're already in Chattanooga. CI, who Cigars International, who is owned by Scandinavian Tobacco Group. And do you want them in your neighborhood? And then
I said on the phone.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I say. We use that example as well.
Yeah.
And here's the problem. And we're going to get to this by the very end when I wrap it all up. But here's the problem. You can't see the forest for the trees. And if you can't see it from your house and it doesn't bother you or affect anything that you give two flying Frenchman's fucks about, then you stick your head in the sand and you go away with it, right? That's not the case. Because one by one, that's just another, until it hits you, or you can see it from your back porch, then, and it requires being something taken away that you support or that you want, then you're ready to make all the noise about. The noise isn't about, I'm getting too far ahead of myself, but that's that's what we were trying to explain.
Yeah. And on top of that, this is not just a cigar problem. This is a freedom problem.
Yes.
You know, it's just like you said, this may not apply to you. I don't listen those fat rednecks talk about cigars, talk fuck cigars. Okay, great. But, next thing you know, they're going to ban eggs. Next thing you know, they're going to ban eggs.
Yeah.
Or whatever else. And that's why, not to get too crazy about it, but that's why every decision I make when it comes to casting a vote or an opinion like that, I start thinking this: how is this going to impede my freedom down the road down there? Because here's the government's job. Their design job they don't do. What they do is they restrict your freedom and then force you to pay for it.
Exactly.
Okay. Because that's how they fund themselves. You're talking about entity in the federal government. They can't even run a post office. For a long time, they're the only game in town.
Yep.
Them.
Yeah. That's right.
And then, old Smith with, FedEx. And then they're like, well, I think we can do this better. And they obviously can. So what I'm saying is that we're putting a lot of trust into this entity out there that everybody seems to think is this, omniscient, perfect presence, the government that can do no wrong, when you don't realize they're made up of the same sons of bitches. They're sitting to your right and left.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're giving away our freedom one bill at a time. Yeah. And the next thing you know, we're going to be jolly old England back in the 1600s.
Yeah.
Where we left because of freedom problems.
We're going to be looking for a tea party.
Yeah. So,
so that's, in a nutshell, what we kicked off our year with that, of the fight against thinking, we had a successful first season. We were super stoked. We did an episode about it, of things that were to come, how much we had learned, all the checklists of the things that we could do to make the business better. And then one morning we get that. So, it seems as if it is never ending. More tobacco bans coming for California and Massachusetts on both sides of the continental United States. Outright bans on selling tobacco products are proliferating. Let's see. I lost my place. Last week, the Tiburon, California Town Council unanimously approved, boy, I got it good that time, an ordinance that will completely ban the sale of cigars and products made with tobacco or containing nicotine in the city to all citizens, regardless of age.
Now, wait. It says exactly what he read is completely ban the sale of cigars and products made with tobacco or containing nicotine. So no more tomatoes.
Yeah. No more potatoes.
Yeah. No more eggplant.
Yeah.
Eggplant parm.
Peppers.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Because all those are nightshade.
And have nicotine in them.
And have nicotine in them, folks. But I'm sure Mr. Jimmy Lipper and Miss Susie Chapstick didn't fucking know that. So, in South Headley, containing nicotine in the city to all citizens regardless of age. It will take effect December 5th. And in South Hadley, Massachusetts, the Board of Health voted to implement a generational tobacco ban in the city, meaning anyone born on or after the January 1st, 2005 would not be permitted to purchase tobacco products in that town ever. I'm not gonna read this whole thing, because you can go read it for yourself. But, another Massachusetts town has joined an increasingly growing number of townships that have implemented generational tobacco bans. South Hadley. We got that already. Why am I reading that again? This trend has become to have local authority legislation introduced in the absence of the state legislature being able to enact similar ordinances and laws themselves. It becomes an easy out for state legislators. Let me read that again. It becomes an easy out for state legislators Glenn Loop, the Premium's PCA Director of State Advocacy, told Cigar Aficionado, and this was back in 2024. Our argument is that it just creates a confusing patchwork of ordinances that vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction.
Sum it up, there's stupidity everywhere.
Yeah.
Is the problem. And of course, it came home to roost on us. There's another one.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna touch base on them real quick. The most recent one, in May of 2026, a drastic law prohibits anyone born after New Year's Day 2009 to buy tobacco in the entire fucking population of the United Kingdom.
That's unbelievable.
For you all that don't know geography, is Ireland, Scotland, Wales, England.
Part of Ireland.
Right, part of Ireland. But,
yes, I get your point.
But it incorporates.
So does that include like cigarettes? Like they're just banning all of it?
All tobacco products.
Just so crazy.
Yeah.
So crazy.
And I say this officially became law in May 1st of 2026. And it was brought forward. Excuse me, I got the wrong one.
It says poof.
It was brought forward on, son of a bitch. It was only brought forward months before that, is what I'm getting at.
I remember you mentioning it, and then it felt like a short time later, you're like, yeah, they passed it.
God,
Belgium banned, to get back to your thing, Lexi, of what you were talking about. Belgium banned, are to ban smoking on public terraces and in cigar lounges.
Wow.
So cigar smokers have seen their right to smoke in public places evaporate, but now a new regulation in Belgium will ban smoking in cigar lounges. Way to go, Belgium.
And does that mean like restaurant
Stick
patios?
to chocolate,
Like
Belgium.
is that what public
beer.
patios are? Like restaurant patios and like bar patios?
Yeah.
That's a public patio?
Yeah. The regulatory
Actually, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. No, it's not. It's a private patio because it belongs to the business
Well, that's
owner.
what I was
There ain't
thinking.
a damn thing public about it.
Yeah,
sorry.
that's correct.
Yeah.
But the nation recently announced it will ban smoking and vaping on public terraces and in virtually all indoor dedicated smoking rooms, including bars, airports, hookah establishments, and even cigar lounges. The new regulations are set to take effect on January 1st, 2027. That date sounds familiar for some reason that we're going to get to as we wrap all this up before you start jumping off of bridges.
I'm ready.
Jesus Christ. No wonder how's this Bandolero
This
Premium?
is the most depressing podcast.
How is this Bandolero Premium cigar?
It's the only thing
let's
saving
talk about
me.
something that's actually good news. Seriously. This is the part where
Fantastic.
y'all...
Well, I was going to ask y'all, for me, like, if it's a good cigar, it really comes down to, like, the quality of it. So, like, how it's going to smoke. Do you feel that way? Like,
Oh, it's certainly a big deciding factor. I mean, the construction.
that's what makes
the
a good cigar
burn.
for me.
I would say that's probably on if we were dividing everything up, that'd actually be a good podcast, but I would say that's probably, it's a large portion of the grade. I mean, at 50% or better.
Yeah.
Just the ease, I don't have to fight. I don't have to work at it. I don't have to continue touching it up. It's
Great
not,
only the whole experience,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it does have a lot. I mean, and of course, these are impeccable.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
What does this remind you of,
The flavor's
though?
good.
What
but
other
the
cigar-
quality is what
What other cigar
really
does
sells
this
it over the
remind
top.
you of? Especially right in here. To me,
What other cigar?
what other United cigar? Same wrapper, too.
The Red Anchor.
Yep.
I was going to say that earlier because I was thinking about it because the Red Anchor also, like, I mean, they're what, $10 less?
Yeah, I know it's a premium upper end, oldest cigar brand in the world. But right in here, it really tastes like that Commodore Red Anchor from the wrapper.
It's definitely got some similarities.
Yeah,
and I would imagine it's from the wrapper,
which is great. Like I've
from the Habano 2000 wrappers, I usually get a little cinnamon out of that. Mm-hmm. And this one's, I'll tell you, to answer your question, I'm kind of glad these are real expensive because I'd smoke like 2 boxes a week because they are refined.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, absolutely.
This is a cigar that would go under the category of the finer things in life for sure. And Red Anchor too, for that matter.
Yeah.
But this is like a very, of course it's different too, right? This has got well, we don't know what it's got in it, do we?
Well, it said Nicaraguan, Dominican, or maybe Nicaraguan and Peruvian fillers on the Two Guys website.
And I definitely got a little bit of that platinum Zeno out of this too in the beginning. Yeah. But man, it's very Red Anchor in the Commodore size right now, and which I love, it's my favorite. So man, you got a combination of a Zeno Platinum and a Red Anchor. What else are we going to get out of this?
Yeah. But I mean, just the quality of it is.
Oh, wait.
I got obviously. Up until this point, I've been getting like, just hints of chocolate here and there, but, certainly some sweetness, a little bit of cinnamon, that whatever that like nutty, you know, maybe it's another kind of nut, but it's like, to me, it's really, it really reminds me of like a coconut. And I said it on the palate. I was getting it on the palate, but I really get it on the retro. But there's also some kind of, brightness to it too. Something that cuts through a real, like a sharpness, if you will, of some kind of flavor. And I'm not quite maybe that's the cedar.
5 different types of cedar.
Mm-hmm.
It's such
great size, great experience though.
Was it a 5 by 52?
5.25 by 52.
5 by 52.
So, right. But anyway, it's excellent. Obviously, it's one of the finer things I've smoked.
Yeah, 100%. So let's get this down the home stretch now.
Very syrupy is what I meant to say. It's got a syrupy.
It's not like
it's very smoky too, which I like in a cigar. I want there to be a lot of smoke. Yeah.
But maybe I think it's a little, like oilier smoke that's got and maybe that's where the coconut vibe comes from, is that oily
could be
sweetness. I don't know.
I've been yapping a lot too, and it ain't went out. I've not had to relight my cigar, which is for somebody that smokes as slow as I do. That's really
you have to relight quite often because we talk and stuff.
Well, we're always on the trailer, so
anyway, that's why we smoked one of the finer cigars that we've ever had during this episode. Because otherwise,
we're a nervous damn wreck.
We're gonna,
Home sweet home.
Oh.
How does that affect me? That's only in other states, only in other countries. They would never do that here in my hometown. Horse shit. We've already proven that theory to be debunked. The Knoxville City Council recently passed an ordinance to ban indoor smoking and vaping in all remaining 21 and over bars and music venues. This new regulation is scheduled to take effect on New Year's Day. Oh, here's that date again, January 1st, 2027. Key details of the ban. Obviously, begins on January 1st, 27. Targeted locations. The ordinance specifically targets age-restricted 21-plus businesses, such as bars, music venues, which were previously exempt from a statewide smoking restriction. Exemptions. Certainly, specialty establishments are exempt from the new rule, including cigar lounges, retail tobacco stores, and vape stores. Enforcement. Businesses will be required to post no smoking signs. Failure to comply with the ordinance could result in $50 fine per incident. So, that in itself, and now we've got a population in Knoxville of close to 280,000. And within the city limits of Knoxville, there are 14, count them with me, 14 smoking bars and or music venues out of how fucking many? Now, it had always been 21 and up, and it was the business owners, decision of whether or not they would allow if they would be a smoking venue or not. So it's real easy. That's pretty easy. You don't like cigarette smoke. You don't like cigar smoke. You don't like that business because of that, then keep your molded ass at home. Get back in your raggedy ass jalopy that you drove in there and go home or go somewhere different. There is a huge selection of places that you can go. Let's see. Supporting initiatives. In anticipation of the ban, the Downtown Knoxville Alliance has launched a 12-month cigarette litter pilot program. 10 artistically designed cigarette receptacles have been placed in high-traffic areas like Market Square and the Old City. Collected waste will be shipped to a recycling facility to be repurposed into products like shipping pallets and patio furniture. Well, here's a thought for you, Knoxville City fucking council assholes. Here's a thought for you. How about all of the people in this town that do decide to recycle and that you lie to every day, and only about 15 to 20% of their hard efforts of trying to save the planet actually gets fucking recycled?
Crazy.
And that's the damn truth, guys. I'm not being pissed off it's just the truth. All that time that you've worked hard to be green and save the earth, and the snail darter and the ring-tailed fucking raccoon with a spot on its ass. The city council don't give a shit about that. If they did, they would be working harder on trying to control trash and recycling efforts of population here in a city of 280,000 people. 1% of that number are cigar smokers, by the way. Okay. So I think you could do a lot more better. Boy, that's a good way to say it. A lot more better. I think you could do a better job at offering, instead of coming up with, collected waste receptacles for people to, throw away their cigarettes. I mean, what the fuck? I live and grew up next to a landfill. Well, it's probably 2.5 miles from my house, okay, from the honky tonk here. And back when I was a kid, you could literally see the river from Rutledge Pike. And now it is a mountain. I'm talking about a mountain of the landfill population. And it is taken over. So you're telling me, it's horse shit. It's hypocritical horse shit. They say one thing and tell you that they're concerned and do another. And there's something driving all of this. There's something, somewhere, some common denominator to all of this shit of what's driving it, because there's money to be made.
That's the only.
That's what it all comes down
always
to.
It.
Follow the money.
Follow the money. You know, here's the thing, folks, and I tell people this if they ask. I quit offering it up, but they're soon going to be telling you what you can do at home. Okay. And if you think that's not accurate, let me tell you something. As a business owner, multiple business owner in this town, having had places I've owned, structures, buildings, released, and whatever else. If I own my business building, it's no different from a privacy standpoint than owning your home. And our government, made up of, you know, how many ever pea-brain dumbasses, has decided on your freedom. Would that affect me? I don't smoke, and smoking's bad, and all this. And the other thing is, I'm going to bring this up in a second too, because when I see you in person, I'm going to ask you. They are chiseling away at your freedoms, and they don't do it all at once. They do it over time. And the next thing you got a mountain between you and the river, right? Same thing. And that's what's happening. And realistically, Good Guy Cigars personally has this affects us zero. None. Because
for now,
because everywhere we goes outside anyway. Okay. But the problem is it will affect us, and it's going to affect you in some other area of your life. We're giving people that you don't know, have no relationship with, went in and went doop, and that's it, to put them in a position of power, control your future. And listen, you don't have to be smart to be a politician. That's obvious. Okay.
They'll let any asshole on TV.
Yeah. So
I've been on there 50 times.
Now, where this does touch me and him personally is that the person that drummed up all the interest in this damn thing is a musician in this town. And he has asthma, and he doesn't want to go to places to play. Well, I've been playing in this town. Jeremy Corvallis.
As far as we know, he's a musician.
Says right there, the musician representative.
We're going to get there.
So here's the thing.
But I will say,
I've been playing in this town, the one you're in, longer than you've been alive. I ain't never heard of you.
Mm-mm.
You can't go past 3 musicians in this town. They ain't heard of us. I ain't never heard of you. Okay, on to you.
Yeah. Well, the council passed the measure in a 6-3 vote on May 26, 2026. Proponents, including the advocacy group Musicians for a Smoke-Free Knoxville, argued the ban is essential to protect hospitality workers and performers from secondhand smoke. Opponents expressed concerns regarding government overreach and the potential for patrons to move their businesses to the county where smoking may still be permitted. The music and this comes from an article at Blank News. Well, if you don't know Blank News, it is the oldest independent operating rag, that's newspaper slang for newspaper, and still left in the city of Knoxville. Rusty Odom, who we've had as a guest on the podcast way early, is the fellow who wrote this. Rusty is a very good journalist. He's the owner of Blank News and the creator of Blank News. But the musician representative for this bill is Jeremy Corvallis, said Odom, chief editor, creator, and owner of Blank News, Knoxville's oldest running independent newspaper. I said all that. The music side of this discussion is where I feel as though we're really being misled, and is a big reason why I'm writing this. They probably should have just left this part alone. Odom asked promoter friends around town if they had ever booked Corvallis. Now, when we're talking about promoter friends, We're talking about promoter friends such as the like of Ashley Capps. We're talking about all the different business owners that have booked from the Bijou to the Tennessee to every bar and restaurant, patio, outdoor thing in this city. Rusty's has been a promoter for a long, long time on many things such as Second Bell Fest, Wayne Stock, just to name a couple.
Written about every music act in this town multiple times.
And national coverage.
Exactly.
So Odom asked promoter friends around town if they had ever booked Corvallis, and while none said yes, everyone whom he got a response from, said that they had never even heard of him. At this next part,
I'm not even a promoter.
Yeah, and this next part is really important. This included talent buyers, music bookers for both smoking and non-smoking venues here in the city. Wouldn't it be better, Odom says, to hear from someone who is actually a participant in the Knoxville music scene to speak on behalf of it? And that's not the end of it. And again, go to blanknews.com. You can read this yourself. I'm just giving you the highlights. Odom met Corvallis just after the last meeting adjourned on the aforementioned walkabout almost 2 weeks ago. I asked him his name. He answered with no problem. Then I asked if he played in any bands, to which he replied that he played in a couple of bands. He had played in a couple of bands over the years.
Yeah, West Middle School and West High School or something.
Yeah. When I asked him what Little Dickie and the Jackrags is what he played, when I asked him what they were called, he would not respond and did not have an answer. Odom laughed it off and asked again, but he did not answer as well. If they hadn't booked him as a solo artist, he wanted to see if the promoters in town had booked one of his bands, but with no band names, could do no search. So then Odom searches the name to see if any music-related thing popped up. Nothing. Then he searched his name with the word music after it, then with the word band after it. Nothing and nothing. Instead, what pops up on a Google search is Smoke Free Knoxville, of which he is the chair. So,
well, he had to retire early because of all the smoking inside.
So I'll say this, Mr. Jeremy Corvallis, if you would like to meet in a safe place, in a, boy, I went on now. You'd think when I see him, I'm going to strangle him.
We just got some questions.
Yeah. If you would like to meet somewhere and have an avenue to speak about your opinion on this and what you've done, who you've been with as far as the music scene, and a completely, this is not going to be a Pearl Harbor job or an ambush, but in a completely neutral environment to talk about any of this, we will gladly accept your send an invite, and hopefully you will accept our invitation of being on One More for the Good Guys. And that's as plain as I can put it, but I would love to hear about it. And
you're not going to be on One More for the Good Guys because I'm going to be smoking a cigar.
Well, that's true.
He won't like the honky tonk.
I'll meet you.
Yeah.
And do it without smoking. So what's what? Is there some kind of correlation in all of this stuff? Well, I think we've covered that. Happening from country to country, state to state, city to city. This is where everyone, whether you smoke or not, should seek research and take due diligence into this matter, because sooner or later, as Jamie said, as I've said, it's going to be coming for you. It's going to affect some freedom, some basic right that you have. So you either get on board or you don't. We hear the phrase free isn't free all the time. And normally we associate that with the efforts and sacrifices that our service men and women have fought for, whether voluntarily or non-voluntary. basis. But the fact of the matter is this: each and every one of those veterans that we like to quote and we like to hang our hat on and be so proud of and back fought for each of us to have our rights, whether supported by you or not. Whether I see something that he doesn't see, that she doesn't see, or vice versa, they all fought and died for that freedom of having the right of believing what you believe. Okay? So don't use that as some lazy catch-all comment of saying, of bringing that into it, because as much as they fought for the freedoms of being able to make a choice, they also fought and died for the freedoms to have the opportunity not to make that choice either and stand on your own grounds. Until it's on your back porch, we've said it time and time again, until it's threatening a right that you support or take part in, don't be the lazy one and use or say, well, I can't see it from my house. It doesn't affect me. Because if you do, you are choosing to say it and use it ignorantly or voluntarily. The simple fact is true, and it's been said time and time again. And if you think about this, guys, we left tyranny for people over politics. We left and formed this country on that very founding fact. And the bottom line of it all is, and we try to preach all the time, is united we stand and divided we will fall. So that's it. That's that. Sorry it was such a heavy episode, but I hope you get something out of it. And I hope you think about reading some of these articles and just being more in tune with what's going on with your basic rights, your basic freedoms, especially when it comes to concerning premium cigars. So, United Selected Tobaccos, the Bandolero Premium. Wonderful cigar. If you've got someone who's got a special day, Father's Day, birthday, graduation, wedding, someone who's just got a big promotion, any of those kind of things, Christmas gift, this is a very good celebratory cigar, and it's approachable by all levels.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful.
Smoker, from a new person to.
And if you get it around here, it's going to be something you can give to somebody and to yourself that you can't get anywhere else. Mm-hmm. Not around here.
Which did you like better, Atabey or Bandolero?
Atabey, but I think the reason that is because, one, it was the first one I smoked, of course, and also because the Atabey tasted like nothing else.
Yeah,
it's really apples and oranges.
Yeah, this tastes like more familiar.
But like
territory.
You were getting a treat out of our Atabey.
Now, this is wonderful. This is still a top 10 smoke, I'd say.
Fantastic.
For me. But if the Atabey's my top so far. And, but man, same blender, same.
I don't know. I would say this is a real close. I mean, I think it's a toss up for me for a treat. Like if I was going to splurge, I'd be just as happy.
Oh, definitely.
From that standpoint, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you said
I could make the.
If you say what you want, I'm going to take the Atabey.
Yeah.
So.
I'm excited to try the new shape too.
That's the one that was the first one I tried was that one. So yeah. All right. Well,
guys, now listen, we cursed a lot and we said a lot of things. A lot of that's for shock value and I mean, a lot of it is how I feel, but a lot of it is trying to be funny as well. So, or be at least somewhat kind of humorous about some of the things. But it's important that we get along. It's important that we try to support each other, and it's very important to be kind to one another. We joke about it a lot, but we do say it at the end of every podcast, that be kind to one another, because it doesn't cost a dime to do that. It will help unite folks as well. And the other side of that is there's always a price to be paid for cruelty. So if you want to know more about this kind of thing, smoking legislations and what's going on out there, Cigar Aficionado is a great place to do it. We'll try to bring you a little bit more of this, maybe not in such a detailed thing, but maybe
not at all in one episode either. I'm worked up. I need to.
I know. I got to go outside and go bust a mailbox or something. You know what I'm saying? But find that stuff at Cigar Aficionado. Type in the word smoking legislation in the search bar. It'll take you to all these. You can read about it for yourself. If you want to know more about United Cigars, including the Red Anchor, the Atabey, or the Bandolero Premium, or any of the other fine products, cigars that United offers, go to our website, goodguyscigars.com. You know the rest, or go to Google. Do a Google search for Good Guys Cigars, and we're
the only one.
That's it. It's that easy. So,
I almost wore the same shirt that you have on. I'm glad I did.
Really?
It kind of looks like, hey, you want to wear the same color?
Well, I could have changed.
That's true. You live here.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
We could go to shirts and skins.
Nobody's ready for that.
No.
We've hit them with enough.
I'd be leaving.
We've hit them with enough.
God.
But at any rate, love you guys. Again, be kind. If you see us out, come by and say hello. We're really friendly, and I'd love to talk to you and meet you, as well as
like you're trying to convince them after this podcast that we're still
really
very friendly.
No, it's don't feed the animals. That's all I can say.
Do you want to do another one?
Yes. Do you want to do another one?
Yes.
How about you?
I'll be back.
Not like this, but another one.
No, not like this.
I'll be back. You heard it here first. Cheers. That's one more for the good guys. I'll be gone in the morning before the sun comes up, with me and my weenie dog and my pickup truck. And either way, baby, a good man, it's hard to find. I said, now either way, baby, a good man, it's hard to find.